Head coach Pete Carroll joins us. Coach, you're coming off a win, complimentary football. Let's start off with the defense, the pass rush, and the interior. What'd you say?
Defense played great. Really, we played well the whole game, start to finish. Got off first series, had a sudden change. We had to get off, got that done. Took the ball off them 3 times, which was great. Set up a score, held the running game in check, really rushed the passer well, got 5, 6 sacks, whatever it was. I don't know if we got that 6th one yet or not. We're still looking for it. A very, very good game. Max was on fire. Jonah Lealo played a terrific football game. The linebackers played really well. You saw a ton of Devin White. The only nick in that whole thing was we missed the tackles in open field a few times that we really could have given them no yards. And so we're very excited about that. And I really liked the way the guys on the back end played. No big plays, nothing to speak of.
Tyree and Booker fell on fumbles and were around the football. I thought that was great, too, to get them going also.
Yeah, Tyree played really physical. He's playing his best football, and we're excited about that. He's playing as tough and physical as he ever has. He's a monster of a guy out there, so we're really expecting him to continue to contribute. Book keeps doing the right thing. He's as steady as you can get, tough as hell, and we'll hope we can keep this front playing like we're playing.
I talked to Hall of Famer Rod Woodson. He's the all-time leader in fumble recoveries on the defensive side. And he just shared with me, if you're flying around the ball and looking for the ball in pursuit, you'll get it. That's something you've always taught to your teams.
Yeah, that's been a hallmark, and it always starts with effort. And we critique effort first. That's the first thing we look at as coaches, and then we talk about technique and the play you could have made, to try to always emphasize that as the number one priority to get you guys playing hard. And our guys were flying the other day. You remember all the perimeter games and those little bubble passes and stuff and the screens outside? We killed them, and that's all pursuit. And some of the big guys were running out there making some plays.
What do you see with Devin White? Because you talked about a few missed tackles and he had a brilliant game. When he's calling out the defense, he gets his alerts and sees this. That veteran leadership is really paying off.
Well, and you notice he was out there a lot with Landon Roberts too, and E-Rob is really a great voice on the field. And those two guys together, they help each other play well. E-Rob is as downhill a player as you can get, and when that carries over to Devin's play as well, he's a monster. Because Devin's big and fast and a big time player. So it really in the perimeter game we missed some tackles. We'll work real hard again on that this week and see if we can clean it up. But the attitude comes really from those two guys coming downhill in the running game, and you couple that with Max's the effectiveness that he has, we're pretty hard to deal with.
It was great to see Michael Mayer have a big game.
Yeah.
He was drafted to this organization before you got here. It's a bonus that he could play special teams and block, but he was a star at Notre Dame. Now that Brock's been down a couple of weeks, and we'll wait to see what happens, are you seeing more of that with his ability to make plays over the middle of the field?
Well, there's no doubt. We've seen nothing but that from Mike throughout. Both he and Brock have been fantastic for us in the offseason and in camp and going through, and we prepared to play with that position group as maybe the top position group on the club. Yeah. And then with Brock being knocked around and then Mike getting his head knocked, it took us. We had played without those guys, So you see Mike Mayer, he's going to continue to play like that. He'll continue to be a factor. He's a really good blocker. He's a great position receiver. He makes the plays. He gives his body up, and that's why he is such a good contributor. And we missed him on special teams. Really, 2 big plays on special teams were Mike's position, and we didn't fill that spot well enough. And so you could tell that the special teams was really on point. They played a very, very solid football game. That's all we're expecting from those guys, just like no factors, And I thought we did punt the ball well. We had our chances to put them, back them up, and I thought that worked out great. And AJ did a great job.
Tell me about Ashton in the passing game. It seemed like you wanted the ball out quickly for Gino in this last game, in this individual matchup. And Ashton's just really running crisp routes, and his head's up when he catches the ball, and he can really make you miss.
Oh, yeah. He just continues. I really think that it affected me this week more than it has any other time, how physical a runner he is. He is really tough, and that element on your team is such a factor. He ran really well in this game. And you're right, on the perimeter he is a factor because the first guy getting to him is just not going to get him. It's rare if they get him on the ground. So we know that we have some explosive plays coming out of him. He just didn't quite get loose, to have the big numbers game. But it wasn't because he wasn't hitting it and running hard, and scored beautifully down there in the red area. So he's a big factor for us.
Before Gino got here, he was known, and he still is, for a great deep ball. He can throw an unbelievable accurate deep ball. We didn't see that in the last game because of the game plan. You got 2-4-3 guys potentially on the outside. You have. Do you think that will open up a little bit more as we get to Kansas City and other games?
Yeah, well, they know it too. We took our looks at Trey a couple times in this game, and they stayed deep on him and didn't give us the chance. Gino checked him out and then dropped the ball back down. But yeah, Gino's accurate at all throws.
Yeah.
He can throw anything that we want to throw. In this game in particular, we wanted to run the football and be very efficient in the throwing games, and that worked out. He was 73% of completions or something like that, which is great. He's been a 70%er over the last 5 years of his career, and we're counting on that. And so he pulled that off for us and kept us on the field, the long drives and eating up the clock and kind of dominating the game in that fashion. It was great to be ahead in this game. We were ahead from the start, and to play with the lead really helped the defense. And Gino kept us moving and kept us in position throughout the game.
Before we get to the Chiefs, in your locker room speech, which was great, just teaching everyone in the program how you got to win that way, no matter who the opponent is. What did the players take away from that speech that you gave?
Well, they've been getting drilled with it for some time. That's not the first time, but it was a chance for me to solidify this is the formula. You play good in all three phases. You play really solid football. You play terrific defense like we can play, and you just don't give them anything. Then the offense adds their aspect to it by hammering the football, and the clock's going, and we're really efficient in the throwing game, and you just don't leave them any opportunities to beat you. And so you're hard to beat when you play like that, and that's been a hallmark of our clubs for years. We because of the big issues that we've had in the kicking game and a couple big plays that have happened, the turnovers have happened to us. We just haven't captured it well yet. We played a really good first game, and then we had our kind of some sloppy games that came out unfortunately in a row. Hopefully we can capture this, take it to Kansas City, and go play a really good KC team and show them too, and make them have to beat us also. So it's exciting for our guys because this is the game we've been trying to put together where you can feel all of that. And this isn't just this year, JT. It's been this a long time committed to this mentality, and that's why it's so important to have the running game with the physicality that Ashton brings us. It's part of the messaging of who we are.
Let's go with Kelce. How do you slow him down? You've coached against him. I've been talking about it for years. You have the veteran physical players to hit him at the line of scrimmage or to cover him a little bit better than some rosters in the past here. Yeah,
he's a real go-to guy for Mahomes. He when he needs to get close to the sticks and trying to make those third downs or trying to get close to make the third downs, he's looking for Kelce, and he's all over the place. And they're hiding him. He's blocking. He's chipping. He's running his option routes. He's really good at all of that, and he's a tremendous possession receiver. He has big plays in him, but that's not really where they feature him, and they've got amazing speed on this team. So they have plenty of guys to go to down the field. Kelce's really, that's the sure bet, and that's what you can see him finding him in a lot of crucial situations.
You look at the tape here at Juju, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. These guys, one of them are going to be running deep, it seems like, on every route. As you send the message to your team in preparation this week to play physical, to play smart, you got a lot of speed guys out there on the other side.
Yeah, staying on top is really important. We did an excellent job last week. They took a couple looks at us, and we played everything, and you saw our safeties on top of the big post route they threw. That's consistently part of our approach. You got to make them work for it and earn it, and don't give them anything easy. Well, these guys they're hunting you up, and so the factor that Mahomes brings is the play after the play. Here's the play they called, and then he sees a way to get out and escape, and now the game starts all over again, and he's incredibly effective at doing that. So we're going to have to scramble really well. It's called plaster. You plaster the receivers in scramble situations. You try to find the guys that he can go to and see if we can hold on and do a nice job of that. That'll be a big challenge for us, and we're going to need to tackle the quarterback too. He gets out and makes guys miss him a lot.
I would think in this game, I would know that Max is playing so well. They have so much respect, Mahomes and Max, and they talk about their legacy of playing against each other, but someone on the other side is going to have to make sure they contain when he goes that way, because Max chases Mahomes to the other side of the field. If someone's there like Kuntz or Tyree, they might get a sack or two right there on the other side.
Yeah, it's a real team effort. There's no one way to do it. He's just looking for where you give him a little crease and he's gone, and he looks quick to throw the football, but if it ain't there, he's going. And he knows there's a whole nother dimension to his game once he gets on the move. Not just running, but of course throwing. But he's running for more yards probably than he ever has. He's really on fire. I think he's the leading rusher at this time, which is enormous for this deep into the season. So we have to account for him in many opportunities to keep him from owning the football game.
They're coming off a game with no penalties and no turnovers and only one punt. That's an historic game for them. That's hard to do. Hard to do that back-to-back if you look back at that last game.
Yeah, well, I would challenge some of those reaching and grabbing too. You know, that's giving them a lot of. Andy's got a little something going on with the officials right now, so we'll make them well aware of that as we go through the game. Try not to let that be the factor.
You've had so many great rivalries in your career, from college to the pros. This is your first time coming out of the tunnel as the head coach of the Silver and Black at Arrowhead. That's got to be a big deal.
Yeah, well, it is. But honestly, JT, I've overcome that kind of urge to fall into the rivalry thing and the big matchups. A long time ago, I figured it out that that's not the best way to approach the game for us. And so, I love Andy. He's been a great dude in this game forever. He's an all-timer, and he's proven it so many times. I love going against him. I love playing against him. I love matching it up and see what we can get done. That just happens to be this week's game. All
right, finally, I saw you on the pregame. Eric Allen, you were talking to. All the gold jackets were out there.
Wasn't that something?
I want to get to that first, to see the gold jackets come out there and Eric to have a moment like that.
Yeah, Reggie McKenzie was on the other side. I said, Reggie, you got to get over there. Your boys are over there, you know. What a group of guys, man. And what just amazing-looking human beings.
Yeah,
and they're all so tall and lean and thin and looking great. It was a great group. And it was really extraordinary to see them rally, you know, for Eric. And they love him and love supporting him. For Eric to get this recognition is, you know, it's a lifetime's dream. And to have those kinds of guys rally to you and the fans cheering for you and all that one more time, you know, it's really special. His great family was there. They're all so excited about it. And I ran into him on the elevator, and we were high-fiving and the whole thing. So that was great fun.
And you spent some time with the Aces. They're now a dynasty, 3 out of 4, and they were there. It looked like you were having a good time talking to them.
Yeah, we had fun. Coach was there, and Asia was, you know, hugging that trophy again, and they're all there, and it was really fun to be with them. You know, we followed their season. We picked them up a few games into their streak and followed the streak all the way through and kept showing the highlights every day when they come back with it, and hoping that they would be able to make a run and show how you can do it. And we followed them all the way through. So our guys are really in touch. Our guys went to games and all of that. But that's an amazing season's accomplishment. But it's even better, for Nicky Fargas running that thing and to keep this thing going like this. That's an amazing accomplishment. And in any game that you play, and it happens to be, you know, world champions. You know, so really excited to be associated with them. We're playing off their story. I talked about Asia the night before the game. You know, I mentioned, you know, some of her words that she was, sharing with her teammates when they were building, you know, making the turn in their season. And there was a point in their season where they weren't going nowhere. You know, they were dead in the water. They lost by 50 or something, and Asia and the coach, you know, got them together and got the women to turn their season around. And just like we're faced with the same opportunity. Who's to say, JT? Maybe we needed all that just happened to get going. And we'll see what happens this week, and as we go one step at a time, we're excited about the future.
Good luck in Kansas City, Coach.
Thanks, JT.